He barely lifted the cup to his lips when a filthy, trembling hand slapped it away. Coffee exploded midair. The CEO spun around, furious, until he saw her eyes. Wild with terror, not madness. Then she whispered the words that froze his blood. "That coffee wasn't meant for you." But how did she know? And who was the real target? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button because you won't believe where this story goes. Let me take you back. 73 minutes earlier, 7:47 a.m. Marcus Blackwood arrives at Blackwood Industries headquarters. Same time as always. Precision, routine, control. That's how you build a billion-dollar empire in sustainable architecture. That's how you survive when your daughter won't speak to you. When success is all you have left. 42 years old. Self-made. Emotionally isolated. He's mastered technology and innovation, but he hasn't mastered people. Outside the building, Aria Moore digs through a trash receptacle. This is survival. This is what 8 months on the streets looks like. 34 years old. Cornell graduate. Former junior architect at Morrison & Associates. She lost $340,000 in investment fraud. Lost her apartment. Lost her job. Lost everything. But she's holding on to her humanity. By a thread. Marcus walks through the entrance. His assistant Jennifer hands him his coffee. Same routine. Black. No sugar. Steam rising from the cup. Aria glances up from the trash. That's when she sees him. Gray hoodie pulled low. Moving fast. Too fast. He bumps Jennifer. His hand hovers over Marcus's cup for just a second. Drops something inside. Aria freezes. She has the perfect angle. Her position by the trash gives her a clear view. She sees what no one else sees. Her mind races. Stay invisible. That's rule number 1 on the streets. Don't get involved. Don't draw attention. Survive. But clarity hits her eyes. Not madness. Clarity. A man is about to die. She sprints. Security sees a homeless woman charging toward their CEO. Torn clothes flying, arms outstretched. They move to intercept. Too late. Aria slams into Marcus. The coffee cup flies from his hand. Hot liquid explodes between them. Brown droplets suspended in air like a photograph. His expensive suit ruined. Her worn cardigan soaked. They hit the ground. Security tackles Aria immediately. Hands pin her down. She's screaming. "The coffee! Someone poisoned the coffee! I saw him! Gray hoodie! He dropped something in the cup!" Marcus scrambles to his feet. Rage floods his face. His suit is destroyed. His routine shattered. This woman just assaulted him. But then he looks at her eyes. Not madness, clarity, desperation, truth. The spilled coffee pools on the marble floor. Marcus stares at it. Something catches the light wrong. A shimmer. An oily rainbow swirl that shouldn't be there. His heart stops. Security is dragging Aria toward the exit. She's still screaming about poison. About the man in the gray hoodie. About saving his life. Marcus makes a decision. Right there, in that moment. A decision that will change both their lives forever. He says 2 words that nobody expected. Wait until you hear what those 2 words were. And if you're already hooked, hit that subscribe button right now because this story is about to blow your mind. Let's continue. Wait. 1 word. Marcus Blackwood's voice cuts through the chaos. Everyone freezes. Security stops dragging Aria. The lobby goes silent. All eyes turn to the CEO standing in his ruined suit. Coffee still dripping from his sleeve. Marcus walks toward the spilled liquid. Crouches down. Studies it. The shimmer is unmistakable now. Oily. Rainbow swirls catching the light. And beneath the coffee aroma, something else. Something chemical. Something wrong. His jaw tightens. Get forensics down here immediately. Pull all security footage from the last 30 minutes and bring her to the security office. He points at Aria. Give her food and water. She stays until I say otherwise. Marcus disappears into the elevator. Aria sits in the security office, hands shaking. They've given her a sandwich and a bottle of water. She clutches them like treasures. like they might vanish if she lets go. 4 hours pass. The tension is unbearable. Will he believe her? Will she be arrested? Will anyone care that she just saved a man's life? She takes small bites of the sandwich. Makes it last. On the streets, you learn to make everything last. Finally, the door opens. Marcus walks in. His face is pale. In his hand, a manila folder. He sets it on the table between them. The forensics report came back. His hands tremble as he opens it. Tetrodotoxin, pufferfish poison, fatal concentration. He looks up at her. I would have been dead in 20 minutes. Violent, painful, public. The words hang in the air. Someone wanted Marcus Blackwood dead. And they wanted it to happen in a very specific way. Marcus sinks into the chair across from her. His mind races. Who wants him dead? Why? How did they get access to his coffee? To his building? To his routine? I need you to tell me everything you saw. Aria straightens, takes a breath. Gray hoodie, sunglasses, about 6 feet tall, male build. He moved with purpose. Bumped your assistant like it was an accident. But it wasn't. He knew exactly what he was doing. Marcus nods slowly, takes notes. Why did you help me? The question catches her off guard. Because you're a human being. Because nobody deserves to die like that. She pauses, meets his eyes. I used to believe that people were fundamentally good, and I refuse to let the world take that away from me, no matter what it's done to me. The statement hits Marcus like a punch. This woman has been stripped of everything, living in the streets, digging through trash, and she hasn't lost her humanity, while he sits in his tower with everything, and lost his long ago. Come with me. He leads her to his office, floor-to-ceiling windows, modern art on the walls, furniture worth more than most cars. The city spreads out below them like a kingdom. Aria steps inside. Something flashes in her eyes. Recognition, memory. Marcus notices, but says nothing. Not yet. You were right. If you hadn't stopped me, I'd be dead. He extends his hand. Thank you. She shakes it. Her grip is firm despite everything. Aria Moore, he says slowly. Why does that sound familiar? He turns to his computer, types her name into the database, pulls up article after article, and then he sees it. Local architect loses everything in investment fraud scandal. There's her photo. Professional. Polished. Cornell graduate. Bright future. $340,000 inheritance. Everything ahead of her. He looks at the woman standing in front of him now. Torn clothes, tangled hair. 8 months on the streets. He keeps reading. His face goes pale. Because buried in that article is a name. A name that connects to his own company. A connection that means her tragedy wasn't random bad luck. It was part of something much bigger and much darker. Marcus's hands grip the desk. His knuckles turn white. Aria, we need to talk, right now. The conspiracy is just beginning to unravel, and trust me, you won't believe where this goes. If you're not subscribed yet, do it now. Drop a comment telling me what you think Marcus should do next. Marcus stares at the screen, reads every word, every detail of Aria's destruction, and as he reads, we see her story unfold. 8 months ago, Aria Moore was a successful junior architect. She designed luxury Manhattan apartments, had a future, had a life. 2 years before that, her parents died in a car accident, left her $340,000, their entire life savings, everything they'd worked for. She met Jonathan Reeves, a financial advisor. Charming, professional. He promised 15% annual returns. Said he was investing in Blackwood Industries projects, exclusive opportunities, ground floor access. It was all a lie. Reeves destroyed 47 lives. Stole $8.7 million total. Aria lost everything. $340,000. savings and inheritance, gone. She couldn't pay rent, evicted within 60 days. Morrison and Associates let her go. They couldn't afford to keep her without major clients. And she couldn't focus on work while her world collapsed. The descent happened fast. Week 1. She stayed with friends. But she felt like a burden. Saw the relief in their eyes when she finally left. Week 3. Shelters. Overcrowded. Unsafe. Demeaning intake processes that stripped away dignity along with privacy. Month 2. Her car. Until it was repossessed. Month 3. The streets. She learned which vents were warm, which dumpsters had edible food, which alleys were safer, which weren't. Survival became a skill set. Reading body language. Predicting who's dangerous before they get close. Finding food at the right time. When restaurants throw out perfectly good meals. Staying clean with public library bathrooms. Gym day passes bought with panhandled change. Everything she owned fit in one backpack. She learned to protect it with her life. She learned to become invisible. Because people look through homeless individuals, not at them, never at them. The psychological toll was worse than the physical one. The first time someone spit at her. The first time someone called her worthless. The first time she considered giving up. Just stopping, just letting go. The daily humiliation of begging, of being treated as less than human, of watching people cross the street to avoid her. But every morning, she made a choice. Hold on to hope. Hold on to humanity. Hold on to the belief that tomorrow might be better. That's why she was at Blackwood Industries that morning. The alley 2 blocks away had the best warm vents in the district. Blackwood employees sometimes threw away half-eaten lunches. Better than anything she could afford, which was nothing. She'd been surviving there for 6 weeks. This morning, she was looking for breakfast when she saw the hooded figure drop poison into Marcus's coffee. Marcus finishes reading. Looks up at Aria with new understanding. She wasn't just any homeless woman. She was a victim of a fraud scheme that used his company's name. That fraud scheme, the one that destroyed your life. His voice is tight, controlled. Jonathan Reeves used Blackwood Industries' reputation to legitimize his scam. He told people he was investing in our projects. He wasn't, but he used our name. He stands, walks to the window. So in a way, we're responsible. Aria shakes her head. That's not your fault. Maybe not. Marcus turns to face her. But I can still do something about it now. He picks up his phone, dials a number. His voice shifts, becomes the voice of a man who built an empire. Daniel, I need a full suite at the Meridian, immediately, and send a car. He looks at Aria. Also, I need access to all files related to the Jonathan Reeves fraud case. Everything. And get me our head of security. We have a problem. He hangs up. What are you doing? Aria asks. Marcus's eyes are steel. Determination. Someone tried to kill me today. You saved my life. Now I'm going to help you rebuild yours. But first, we're going to find out who wants me dead. He steps closer. And Aria, you're about to become my secret weapon. Marcus is about to make a decision that will shock everyone. But the conspiracy goes deeper than anyone suspects. Keep watching to see how Aria goes from the streets to the center of a billion-dollar plot. Hit that like button if you're loving this story. I want to hire you as a consultant to help me find who did this. Aria stares at Marcus. The words don't make sense. I'm homeless. I haven't showered in 3 days. I have no credentials, no references, no... You have the most important credential. Marcus cuts her off. His voice is firm, resolute. You saved my life. Everything else, we can fix. He picks up his phone again, dials. Michael Torres, head of security, please. A pause. Michael, I need 3 things immediately. Book a suite at the Mandarin Oriental, under my personal account. Send someone to Bloomingdale's. Complete wardrobe, women's size 6, casual and professional. And call the hotel. Tell them Aria Moore gets anything she needs, no questions. He hangs up, turns to Aria. She's crying, tears streaming down her face. She can't stop them. Why are you doing this? Marcus is quiet for a moment, choosing his words carefully. 8 months ago, when you lost everything, no one helped you. Someone should have. He pauses. I've spent my whole life building things. Buildings, companies, wealth. But I forgot to build connections, to see people. You didn't forget. Even after everything, you still see people. You still act. He hands her a business card with the hotel address. The car is waiting downstairs. The Mandarin Oriental suite is bigger than any apartment Aria ever lived in. 2 bedrooms, living room, full kitchen, marble bathroom with a soaking tub that looks like it belongs in a spa. The porter leaves. Aria stands in the center, turning slowly, taking it all in. This isn't real. This can't be real. She walks to the bathroom, turns on the shower as hot as she can stand, and she cries. For 8 months of fear, hunger, cold, for her parents, for the woman she'd been, for the woman she became. For every night she wondered if she'd survive until morning. 40 minutes. She washes away dirt, shame, fear, invisibility. The water runs clear, finally clear. She wraps herself in a towel. Even the towels are warm. Luxury she'd forgotten existed. Looks in the mirror, barely recognizes herself. There's a knock at the door. Shopping bags, dozens of them. Jeans and soft sweaters, professional slacks and blazers, comfortable shoes and elegant heels, toiletries, makeup, and a new iPhone, already programmed with one contact, Marcus Blackwood. Aria dresses slowly, dark jeans, cream sweater, like heaven against clean skin. She looks in the mirror again. She looks like Aria Moore. She looks like herself. But she's also different. 8 months on the streets changed her, gave her perspective, stripped away illusions about how the world works, about who people really are. The phone rings. Marcus. How are you settling in? I don't have words. Her voice cracks. Thank you doesn't seem like enough. Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., come to my office. We'll review security footage together. I'll be there. Aria. Order room service tonight. Get a good meal, maybe 2. You've got a lot to recover from. She orders steak, the best she's had in her life. Or maybe it just tastes better, because she's been hungry for so long. Sits in the living room, eating slowly, savoring every bite. Wonders if she's dreaming. But the food is too real, the bed too comfortable. The terror of the past 8 months, too recent for this to be a dream. She thinks about the woman she was this morning, digging through trash, invisible, desperate, and the woman she is tonight, clean, fed, safe, with a purpose. One act of courage changed everything. But she's smart enough to know this is just the beginning. Someone tried to kill Marcus, and until they find out who and why, neither of them is safe. Aria has something to lose now. This new life, this hope. But she also has a debt to repay. Marcus gave her back her humanity, and she has skills he needs, her eye for detail, her ability to read people developed on the streets, her memory of the attacker. She can help him. She will help him. As Aria falls asleep that night in a bed softer than clouds, she doesn't know what tomorrow will bring. She doesn't know that security footage will reveal a discovery connecting her tragedy to Marcus's attempted murder. Or that Jonathan Reeves, the man who destroyed her life, was just one piece in a conspiracy that had already killed 2 people, and was about to claim more victims. The conspiracy is about to explode into something massive. You won't believe who's behind it all. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it now before you forget. Trust me, you don't want to miss what happened next. 9 a.m. Aria walks into Blackwood Industries through the front door. Not the back alley. Not the trash receptacle. The front door. Security guards who tackled her yesterday now nod respectfully. Employees stare. Marcus sent a company-wide email. She's a security consultant. She's wearing professional attire, hairstyled, makeup subtle. She looks like she belongs. But she remembers what it felt like yesterday when she didn't. The security office is cramped. 6 monitors, countless hours of footage. Michael Torres sits beside her. Former Secret Service, head of security. Detail-oriented, methodical. We're looking at every camera in a 3-block radius, he explains. 6 hours, frame by frame. Aria's architect eye notices patterns others miss. The way people move through space, body language, purpose. At 2:43 p.m., she sees him. There, that's him, same walk, same build. The man on screen is wearing business casual. No hoodie this time. Michael enhances the image, freezes it, face partially visible. Marcus leans forward, studies the screen. His face hardens. I know him. That's David Zimmerman. He works in our finance department. The employee file tells a story. David Zimmerman, 7 years at Blackwood Industries. Unremarkable performance. Middle tier. Never promoted. Never fired. Invisible. Until 3 months ago. Wire transfer. $50,000. Offshore account. 2 weeks ago. Another $50,000. Yesterday. The day of the poisoning. $100,000 scheduled. But it didn't transfer yet. Someone paid him $200,000 to kill you, Michael states flatly. Aria asks to see the full file. As she reads, her face goes pale. Previous employer, Morrison and Associates. She looks up at Marcus. That's where I worked. You knew him? I remember him from the accounting department. Her voice is tight. That can't be a coincidence. Marcus's voice goes cold. No, it can't. Aria's mind races, connecting pieces. What if someone is targeting not just you, but anyone connected to something bigger? Morrison and Associates went bankrupt 6 months ago. Thomas Morrison died of a heart attack 3 months ago. But what if it wasn't a heart attack? Marcus immediately turns to Michael. Pull records. Every company connected to the Jonathan Reeves investment fraud. Medical and incident reports for their CEOs and founders. Over the next week, a chilling pattern emerges. Thomas Morrison. Morrison and Associates. Heart attack. Age 58. Now suspected poisoning. Catherine Yu. Yu Designs. Car accident with brake failure. Survived with injuries. Robert Ashford. Ashford Construction. Survived apparent mugging. Now believed assassination attempt. Marcus Blackwood. Blackwood Industries. Poisoned coffee. Saved by Aria. And one more name. Jonathan Reeves. The fraudster. Found dead in Singapore 2 weeks ago. Ruled suicide. Someone is cleaning up, Aria says. Someone who was connected to the fraud scheme and doesn't want it traced back to them. Marcus shakes his head. But Reeves fled the country. He's in hiding. Aria pulls up a news article. Jonathan Reeves found dead in apparent suicide in Singapore. She looks at Marcus. What if it wasn't suicide? What if he was killed too? What if he was never the mastermind, just the fall guy? The room goes quiet. Marcus stands, paces. So we're looking for someone who was pulling Reeves's strings, someone who set up the fraud scheme, used him as the front, and is now eliminating everyone who might connect them to it. Someone with access to significant resources, Aria adds. Someone who could pay David Zimmerman $200,000. Someone who... She stops suddenly, eyes widening. Marcus, who would benefit most from your death? Marcus's face goes white. My board members, my competitors, potentially. He stops. Oh God, Jake. Jake Bennett. Marcus's former business partner. They co-founded Blackwood Industries 15 years ago. Had a falling out 10 years in. Creative differences. personality conflicts. Visions for the company diverged. Marcus bought Jake out for $50 million, a fortune at the time. The company is now worth $15 billion. Jake spent the last 5 years trying to get back in. Hostile takeover attempts, lawsuits, making Marcus's life miserable. If you died, Aria asks slowly, and your daughter still refuses to speak to you, who inherits the company? Marcus's jaw tightens. According to my will, if Elizabeth doesn't claim her inheritance within 30 days of my death, it goes to a trust controlled by the board. He pauses. And Jake has been systematically buying up board seats through shell companies. Michael discovered it last month. He's already got control of 4 of the 9 seats. He needs 5 for a majority. Aria's voice is steady. So if you die and Elizabeth doesn't claim the inheritance, Jake effectively takes over your company. Marcus pulls up a buried document from 5 years ago. Blackwood Industries approached by a financial advisor about a revenue-sharing partnership. They declined. The advisor's name: Jonathan Reeves. Jake commissioned Reeves to approach us legitimately first, Marcus realizes. His voice is barely controlled. When we said no, Jake had him use our name anyway for the fraud scheme, making it look like we were involved, damaging our reputation. The fallout was massive. Several major clients dropped Blackwood Industries, citing business practice concerns. The company lost $200 million in contracts that year. And who recommended those clients leave? Jake Bennett, serving as an advisor through consulting firms he secretly owned. They have their theory. Jake Bennett orchestrated everything: the fraud scheme, the murders, the attempted assassination. But theory isn't proof. And David Zimmerman disappeared the moment they identified him on security footage. They need to draw Jake out. Marcus has a plan. A dangerous, risky plan that will require him to sacrifice the one thing he values most: his daughter's trust. Marcus's plan is going to shock you. And the twist that's coming, you'll never see it coming. We give him what he wants. We make him think he's won. Marcus stands at the window, looking out at the city he helped build. I'll announce publicly: Stage 4 pancreatic cancer, 6 months to live. Terminal, no treatment options. His voice is steady, clinical. I'm stepping down as CEO immediately, turning control to the board, naming my daughter Elizabeth as heir. He pauses. But noting we're estranged, that I don't expect her to claim the inheritance. He'll have to move fast, Marcus explains. Once I'm out and Elizabeth doesn't immediately claim control, he'll try to consolidate power through the board before she can contest it. That's when we catch him. Aria's been quiet, listening. Now she speaks. There's one problem. Your daughter, Elizabeth. If you announce this publicly, she'll hear about it. And if you two are really estranged, she'll think you're actually dying. Marcus's face falls. Long silence. I can't tell her the truth. If Jake has people watching her, and he probably does, anything I tell her might get back to him. So you're going to let your daughter think you're dying? I don't have a choice. Marcus sits down. Heavy. Defeated. 3 years ago, Elizabeth graduated from college. Degree in environmental engineering. She wanted to join Blackwood Industries. Her expertise was exactly what we needed for sustainability initiatives. He looks at his hands. But I said no. Why? I didn't want her accused of nepotism. I didn't want people thinking she only got the job because of me. I wanted her to make her own way, build her own career, prove herself to the world. His voice cracks. I thought I was protecting her. I thought I was teaching her the value of earning things on merit. But she thought you didn't believe in her, Aria says softly. She told me I'd never supported her dreams, that I was too focused on my business to care about her. He pauses. And she was right. After her mother died when she was 12, I threw myself into work. It was easier than dealing with grief, easier than being a single parent. I told myself I was building something for Elizabeth's future, but really, I was just hiding. 3 years of silence. Elizabeth blocked his number, returned his letters unopened. Marcus has no idea where she's living or what she's doing. The only way he knows she's okay is the trust fund her mother left. He can see withdrawals. Knows she's alive and has access to money. So, yes, Marcus's voice is barely a whisper. I'm going to let my daughter think I'm dying, because it's the only way to stop Jake, and because maybe she won't care anyway. Aria puts a hand on his shoulder. She'll care. And when this is over, you need to tell her the truth. All of it. Give her the chance you never gave her before. The chance to choose you, to work with you, to be part of what you've built. Michael outlines the dangers. If Jake suspects it's a trap, he might disappear. If Elizabeth tries to contact Marcus, they can't respond. Have to maintain the illusion. If something goes wrong, Marcus's reputation is destroyed for faking terminal illness. But most importantly, Jake is a killer. He's already murdered multiple people. If he feels cornered, he might strike directly rather than through proxies. I'm staying close, Aria insists. If Jake tries anything, you'll need someone he doesn't know about. Someone who's invisible. Marcus looks at her. This woman who was digging through his trash 48 hours ago, now risking her life to help him. Why? You've already saved my life once. You don't owe me anything more. Aria's answer is simple. You gave me back my humanity when the world had stripped it away. You saw me when I was invisible. You helped me when everyone else stepped over me. This isn't about debt. This is about doing what's right, and stopping Jake Bennett is right. They move forward with the plan. The announcement in 48 hours. Time to set up surveillance. Prepare contingencies. Position themselves to catch Jake when he makes his move. Michael's team sets up surveillance on Jake Bennett. Aria memorizes every detail of Jake's known associates. Marcus rehearses his public statement. They prepare evidence packages to go to the FBI the moment they have solid proof. The night before, Marcus can't sleep. He keeps thinking about Elizabeth, about the last conversation they had 3 years ago. She'd been crying, angry, hurt. You've never believed in me, Dad. You've never thought I was good enough. He'd responded with logic, with practical reasons, with everything except what she needed. I believe in you, Elizabeth. I'm proud of you. I love you. Now he was about to hurt her again, and he didn't know if their relationship could survive it. The announcement went public at 9 a.m. the next morning. Wall Street reacted immediately. Blackwood Industries stock plummeted 12% in the first hour. The board called an emergency meeting. And somewhere, Jake Bennett smiled, believing he'd finally won. But what none of them knew was this. Elizabeth had been following her father's career for years. Every article, every achievement, every move. And when she saw the news about his cancer diagnosis, she booked the next flight to New York. The collision course was set, and everything was about to explode. Elizabeth is coming home. Jake is making his move. And Aria is about to discover something that connects all the pieces together. You do not want to miss what happens next. Hit that like button and drop a comment. Do you think Marcus made the right choice? Keep watching. The stock market doesn't wait. Blackwood Industries stock continues dropping. Down 15% by end of day one. Industry analysts speculate about the company's future. Competitors circle like sharks. Board members panic. Emergency meetings. Crisis management. Jake Bennett begins positioning for takeover. Through his proxies. Through his shell companies. Through the board members he controls. Michael's surveillance team reports Jake's movements. Meetings with 3 of the 4 board members he controls. Large wire transfers being prepared. Legal documents being drafted. He's moving fast. Expects Marcus to be incapacitated soon. Wants control before Elizabeth can act. Day 3 after the announcement. Something unexpected happens. David Zimmerman walks into a New Jersey police station and confesses. He can't live with what he tried to do. The guilt is stronger than the fear of consequences. He provides detailed records, communications with Jake, money transfers, instructions, everything. Because you didn't die, Aria had said. Because someone stopped him. And he's had to live with the knowledge that he almost killed an innocent person. Sometimes guilt is stronger than fear. She was right. Zimmerman's confession includes text messages. Jake used an encrypted app, but Zimmerman screenshotted everything. Wire transfer records showing the money trail from Jake's offshore accounts. Audio recordings. Zimmerman secretly recorded their planning conversations and information about other jobs. Thomas Morrison's poisoning. Catherine Yu's brake lines. The FBI moves fast. Dawn raid on Jake's penthouse. Simultaneous raids on his offices. Storage units. Offshore access points. They find more than expected. Documentation of the entire fraud scheme. Jake orchestrated everything. Reeves was just a puppet. Lists of other crimes. Blackmail. Bribery. Witness intimidation. Offshore accounts containing $3.2 billion in stolen money. Evidence of 6 murders, including Jonathan Reeves in Singapore. The fraud scheme that destroyed Aria's life was just one small piece of a massive criminal operation spanning 15 years. The news breaks like a tidal wave. Former tech billionaire arrested in multi-murder conspiracy. Jake Bennett, from business partner to criminal mastermind. Blackwood Industries stock rebounds 34% in a single day. Investors relieved Marcus not actually involved in crimes. Board members Jake corrupted resign or are forced out. Marcus vindicated publicly. Marcus prepares to reveal the truth. No cancer. It was a sting operation. But before he can make the announcement. Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. Elizabeth walks into Blackwood Industries. She tells security she's Marcus Blackwood's daughter. Demands to see him. Marcus is in a meeting with lawyers. Nearly falls out of his chair when Michael calls. Elizabeth enters his office. Marcus stands, frozen. She's 25 now, no longer the angry 22-year-old who walked out. Taller than he remembered. Dark hair in a professional ponytail. Business suit suggesting success. She looks like her mother. Marcus's heart breaks. Dad. Her voice is controlled, but tears are gathering. Is it true? The cancer? This is it. The moment of truth. Marcus can continue the lie, protect her from danger, or risk everything by telling the truth. He chooses truth. No, there's no cancer. It was a ruse, to catch someone who was trying to kill me. Elizabeth's emotions shift rapidly. Confusion, relief, anger. You what? Aria has been in the corner reviewing documents. She quietly stands to leave. Elizabeth stops her. Who are you? I'm Aria Moore. I'm a consultant. I should give you privacy. No. Marcus's voice is firm. Stay. You're part of this story too. Marcus tells Elizabeth everything. The poisoned coffee. Aria saving his life. The conspiracy they uncovered. Jake's arrest. Why he faked terminal illness. The only way to catch the killer. Elizabeth starts crying openly. You let me think you were dying. Do you have any idea? Her voice breaks. I've spent 3 years telling myself I hated you, that I didn't need you, that I was better off without you in my life. She wipes her eyes. And then I saw that news article, and I realized none of it was true. I realized I never stopped loving you. I never stopped needing my dad. I just didn't know how to get past the hurt. Marcus's own tears fall. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Elizabeth. You came to me 3 years ago with your dreams, and I shut you down. I thought I was protecting you. But I was really protecting myself. I was afraid that if you joined the company and failed, it would be my fault. I was afraid I'd let you down the way I let your mother down by not being there when she was sick. I was afraid I'd already been such a terrible father that I'd ruin your career too. Elizabeth's voice softens. You weren't a terrible father. You were a grieving husband who didn't know how to process his pain. And I was a grieving daughter who needed her dad and didn't know how to tell him. Marcus and Elizabeth stand. They embrace. 3 years of silence and hurt begin to heal. Aria watches, tears streaming down her face. She thinks about her own parents, gone now. How she'd give anything for one more conversation, one more chance to tell them she loves them. Father and daughter sit together, talking for hours. Elizabeth's life in Portland, Oregon. Successful environmental consultant. Her deliberate choice to turn down clients who wanted her because of the Marcus connection. Her career built on her own merit, exactly what Marcus wanted. But she did it angry and hurt. Marcus's regret, every letter returned, every call blocked, felt like a knife. Their shared grief over Elizabeth's mother, their shared hope for the future. As Marcus and Elizabeth rebuilt their relationship, Aria watched with bittersweet joy. She'd helped save a life, stop a killer, reunite a family. But she still didn't have her own life back. Until Marcus pulled out a folder. What he was about to offer Aria wasn't just a job. It was redemption, purpose, and a chance to transform thousands of lives, just like hers had been transformed. One evening, Marcus, Elizabeth, and Aria sit in his office, overlooking Manhattan, the city where Aria once slept on the streets. You gave me back my life, Marcus tells Aria. Now I want to help you get yours back. You already have. The hotel, the clothes, the job. That's not enough. That's just the beginning. Marcus pulls out a folder. The FBI recovered $847 million from Jonathan Reeves's offshore accounts, money being distributed to fraud victims through a restitution fund. He slides the folder across the desk. Aria, you're entitled to your full $340,000, plus interest and damages. The process takes a few months, but you're getting your money back. Every penny. Her hand flies to her mouth. What? All of it. Every penny he stole from you. But Marcus isn't finished. That's not all. Morrison and Associates went bankrupt, but their intellectual property and project files were acquired by another firm, including the projects you worked on. Aria, you designed some beautiful buildings, award-worthy work. He slides another document across. The firm that bought Morrison's assets wants to hire you to finish what you started. Do you know Hendricks and Lowe? Aria's eyes widen. They're one of the top sustainable architecture firms in the country. They've been looking for someone with your specific expertise in eco-friendly residential design. I sent them your portfolio, the one I found in the Morrison archives. They were impressed. Very impressed. They want to interview you next week. Aria can barely breathe. But there's one more thing. Marcus stands, walks to the window. I'm starting a new division at Blackwood Industries. Sustainable Community Development. We're going to focus on creating affordable, eco-friendly housing for low-income communities. Housing for people like, his voice catches, for people like you were. People who've fallen through the cracks. People who deserve a second chance. He turns to face her. I want you to head that division. And I want Elizabeth to work with you as the chief environmental engineer, if you're both willing. The significance hits Aria like a wave. This isn't just a job offer. This is Marcus entrusting her with his company's new direction. His vision for social responsibility. His daughter's career. The power to transform thousands of lives. She can't speak. Just stares at the folder. At the job description. At the possibility of having not just her career back, but a better career, with actual purpose. Please say yes, Elizabeth adds. I've read your work. You're brilliant, and you understand what these communities need in a way that no one else can. You've lived it. Through tears. Yes, I'll do it. Both. I'll interview with Hendricks and Lowe, and I'll head your Sustainable Community Development Division." Her voice breaks. "Thank you. Thank you for seeing me, for believing in me, for giving me a chance when the whole world had given up on me. You saved my life, Aria. This is the least I can do." "No." Aria shakes her head. "You saved mine. The moment you said wait instead of letting security drag me away, you saved my life. Everything after that. The hotel. The investigation. This. It's all because you chose to see me as a person, not as trash to be thrown away. You gave me back something I'd lost. The belief that I matter. That my life has value. That I deserve to exist." The three of them stand together at the window, looking out over the city lights. Marcus thinks about how close he came to death, to never reconciling with his daughter. Elizabeth thinks about the father she almost lost before she could forgive him. Aria thinks about the woman digging through trash just 2 weeks ago, and the woman standing in a corner office now, with her entire future ahead of her. "You know what's amazing?" Aria says softly. 2 weeks ago, I was invisible. People walked past me every day and never saw me. But I saw everything. I saw that hooded figure because from where I was, down low, in the trash, in the place nobody looks, I had the perfect angle. My invisibility saved your life, Marcus, and your willingness to see me saved mine." Elizabeth's voice is thoughtful. "That's what we're going to do with this new division, isn't it? We're going to see the people everyone else walks past. We're going to build homes for the invisible people." Aria's vision crystallizes. Not just homes, communities, places with dignity, where people aren't warehoused or pitied, but respected. Where architecture reflects the truth that every human being deserves beauty, safety, and hope. Marcus's commitment is immediate. "We're committing $500 million to start. If it works, and I believe it will, we'll expand nationally. This is going to be Blackwood Industries' legacy. Not just buildings that don't harm the environment, but buildings that actively heal communities." "Where do you want to build the first complex?" Marcus asks. Aria doesn't hesitate. "The Bronx, near the shelter where I stayed. I want the people who are where I was to see it going up. I want them to know that hope is real, that change is possible, that someone sees them." They spend the next hour on practicalities. Aria needs an apartment, professional clothes, transportation, help rebuilding her credit. But something Aria says stops them all. "You know what's different this time? Last time, with Jonathan Reeves, someone promised to take care of everything for me. I gave away my power. This time, you're not taking care of everything for me. You're giving me the tools to take care of myself. You're not rescuing me. You're empowering me." That's the difference between charity and dignity. Marcus pours 3 glasses of sparkling water. "To second chances," he says. "To seeing the invisible," Elizabeth adds. "To choosing courage over comfort," Aria finishes. They clink glasses, and for a moment, everything is perfect. But Aria's journey wasn't quite finished. Because 1 week later, at her interview with Hendricks and Lowe, something happened that proved the universe has a sense of timing, and humor, and justice. What walked through that door would bring Aria's story full circle in a way none of them could have predicted. You're going to love this final twist. It's beautiful, it's powerful, and it proves that karma is real. Don't stop watching now. We're almost at the end, and it's worth every second. If this story has moved you, drop a comment and tell me what moment hit you hardest. Now let's finish this. 1 week later. Aria walks into Hendricks and Lowe's Manhattan office. Charcoal blazer, cream blouse. Elizabeth helped her pick them out. Hair professionally styled. Leather portfolio with her architectural designs. She looks successful. She looks like she belongs. But she remembers, always remembers, the feeling of not belonging, of being invisible. The waiting room is elegant, modern furniture, glass walls, City views. Aria sits. Reviews her portfolio. Prepares her talking points. Another woman enters, well-dressed, confident, clutching her own portfolio. They make eye contact. The woman looks away quickly. Something about her is familiar, but Aria can't place it. Then she remembers, 8 months ago, Morrison and Associates. This woman was a senior architect there. They worked on the same floor. One morning, Aria was sleeping in her car in the parking garage, 3rd week after losing her apartment. Before the car was repossessed, this woman walked past, saw Aria, wrinkled her nose in disgust, and reported her to building security. Security kicked Aria out, banned her from the property. That was the moment Aria realized she was no longer Aria Moore, architect. She was homeless woman. Problem to be solved. Aria Moore? The receptionist calls her name. Aria stands. The other woman's head whips around, eyes widening in recognition and shock. She remembers, too. The interview panel. 3 partners from Hendricks and Lowe, including founding partner Robert Hendricks. They've reviewed Aria's portfolio. They're impressed. Ms. Moore, your designs for the Manhattan luxury residences are exceptional. The way you integrated green spaces into vertical structures while maintaining affordability is exactly what we need for our upcoming projects. For 45 minutes, Aria discusses architecture, sustainability, community integration, the future of urban design. She's brilliant. She's passionate. She's everything they're looking for. Then comes the difficult question. We need to address the gap in your resume. 8 months with no employment. Can you explain? Aria takes a breath. This is the moment. She could lie, could make excuses, could hide. But she promised herself, no more shame. I was homeless. I lost everything in the Jonathan Reeves investment fraud, my inheritance, my savings, my job at Morrison and Associates. I spent 8 months on the streets, living in alleys, digging through trash, trying to survive while holding on to my humanity. Silence in the room. 2 weeks ago, I saved Marcus Blackwood's life. He was about to drink poisoned coffee, and I stopped him. What happened after that? Well, you've probably seen the news about Jake Bennett's arrest. I was part of that investigation. Mr. Blackwood gave me a chance to rebuild my life. And now I'm here, because I believe my experience, both as an architect and as someone who lived in the communities we design for, makes me uniquely qualified to create housing that actually serves people. Robert Hendricks is quiet for a long moment. Then he speaks. Ms. Moore, I'm going to be honest with you. When Marcus Blackwood called me and told me your story, I was skeptical. I thought maybe he was being overly generous, letting his emotions cloud his judgment about your qualifications. But after seeing your work and hearing you speak, I realized something. You're not qualified despite your experience with homelessness. You're qualified because of it. You understand something that most architects never will. You understand what it feels like to be in the spaces we create for vulnerable populations. He leans forward. We'd like to offer you a position as senior architect, specializing in affordable and sustainable housing. You'd be leading a team of 6, working on projects across the Northeast. Starting salary is $185,000. Full benefits and profit sharing. If you accept, we'd like you to start in 2 weeks. Tears gather in Aria's eyes. I accept. Thank you. Thank you for seeing my potential, and not just my past. As Aria leaves, she passes the other woman in the waiting room, the one who reported her to security 8 months ago. The woman stands, approaches hesitantly. Aria, I need to apologize. That morning in the parking garage, I had no idea what you were going through. I was cruel, and I'm sorry. Aria could be bitter, could be angry, could enjoy this moment of karma. Instead, she says something unexpected. I forgive you. 8 months ago, I might not have been able to, but I've learned something. Hurt people hurt people, and healed people heal people. I don't know what you were going through that morning, but I choose to believe you were fighting your own battles. I hope you find what you're looking for today. She extends her hand. The woman shakes it, tears in her own eyes. Thank you. I needed that grace more than you know. Outside the building, Aria makes 2 calls. First, to Marcus. I got the job. Senior architect. $185,000 a year. Can you believe it? Marcus's response. Yes, I can believe it. Because you earned it. Congratulations, Aria. Second, to Elizabeth. Want to grab dinner tonight? To celebrate? Elizabeth's enthusiastic yes makes Aria smile. She has friends now. She has family. Chosen if not blood. That evening, Marcus, Elizabeth, and Aria sit at a restaurant overlooking Central Park. Aria looks at the park. Remembers sleeping there on warm nights, being chased away by police. The constant fear. Now she's sitting in a restaurant that overlooks it. Celebrating 2 job offers and a new life. You know what amazes me? Marcus says. 2 weeks ago, I thought I had everything figured out. I'd built a company, accumulated wealth, achieved every marker of success. But I'd lost my daughter, lost my humanity, lost sight of what actually matters. And then a homeless woman knocked coffee out of my hand and changed everything. Elizabeth adds, You saved more than his life, Aria. You saved our family. If you hadn't stopped that coffee, I never would have come home. Dad and I never would have reconciled. I think we saved each other, Aria says. You gave me back my dignity. I gave you back your daughter. Marcus gave me back my career. We all gave each other a second chance. That's what people do when they choose to see each other as human beings. Marcus leans forward. The Sustainable Community Development Division breaks ground in 6 weeks. First project, 150 affordable housing units in the Bronx, designed by you, engineered by Elizabeth, funded by us. We're going to change lives, Aria. Hundreds of them, maybe thousands. Every unit is going to have a plaque, Aria says. Built with dignity, designed with love, home to someone who matters. Because everyone who lives there needs to know they're not charity cases. They're human beings who deserve beautiful, sustainable, affordable homes. They raise their glasses one more time. To seeing people. To second chances. To the moment that changed everything. 6 months later. The first Bronx housing complex is 40% complete. Aria has hired 8 people who experienced homelessness onto her design team. Elizabeth has reconciled fully with her father. Weekly dinners. Marcus has become an advocate for homeless rights and affordable housing. Blackwood Industries stock is at an all-time high. Turns out, doing good is good business. One morning, Aria walks past the alley where she used to sleep. There's a woman there now, digging through trash, looking for breakfast. Aria stops, crouches down, eye level. Hi, I'm Aria. Are you hungry? Can I buy you breakfast? The woman looks up, shocked that someone is talking to her, seeing her. Why? Aria smiles. Because 8 months ago, I was you, and someone chose to see me. Let me pay it forward. Over coffee and pancakes, Aria learns the woman's name is Jennifer. Former teacher, lost her job during the pandemic, lost her apartment, lost everything. Aria takes out her business card. Call me Monday. I can't promise anything, but I know people who are hiring, and I'm working on a housing project that might be able to help. At minimum, I can connect you with resources. You're not alone, Jennifer, and this doesn't have to be forever. Jennifer cries, clutching the card like a lifeline, because it is. As Aria walks away, she thinks about that morning 2 weeks ago when she made a choice. Save a stranger or stay invisible. She chose courage, and it changed everything. Not just for her, not just for Marcus and Elizabeth, but for everyone their lives will touch moving forward. Hundreds of families will have homes because Aria knocked coffee out of Marcus's hand. Jennifer will have a second chance because Aria remembered what it felt like to be invisible. Ripples upon ripples upon ripples. All because one woman chose to be brave for 60 seconds. Sometimes the most extraordinary moments in life look ordinary. A homeless woman stopping a CEO from drinking poisoned coffee. But that's the beautiful truth about courage. It doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's quiet. Sometimes it's just one person saying, "I see a human being who needs help," instead of "I see a problem to ignore." And sometimes that simple act of seeing someone, truly seeing them, saves more than one life. It saves two. It saves a family. It saves a community. It starts a ripple that never stops spreading. That's the power we all have. The power to see people. To choose courage over comfort. To believe that 1 second of bravery can rewrite destiny. Because it can. Aria is living proof. If this story moved you, if it inspired you, if it changed how you see the homeless people you pass every day, hit that subscribe button right now. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment and tell me what moment in this story hit you hardest. And remember, you have the power to change lives too. All you have to do is choose to see people. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.